defining religion is a complex and controversial subject, with scholars from different disciplines failing to agree on a single, universally accepted definition. The sheer diversity of these academic approaches is indicative of the multifaceted nature of human spirituality. The struggle to confine the concept to a single metric reveals that religion is a dynamic human response to the ultimate problem of human life. From a sociological perspective, religion is viewed as unified systems of belief and practices relative to sacred things. This perspective suggests that the primary function of this system is to unite people into a single moral community that would breed social cohesion and shared identity. This perspective emphasizes the collective and communal or community aspect of faith. In contrast, the psychological perspective offers a more personal definition, describing religion as the feelings, acts, and experiences of individual men in their solitude. This perspective highlights the internal psychological dimensions of faith, where it can provide comfort, establish personal goals, and hone a sense of purpose. The anthropological definitions bridge these views by seeing religion as a system of symbols that formulate a conception of a general order of existence. This symbolic framework is so persuasive that it creates powerful, pervasive, and long-lasting moods and motivations in people, making these spiritual moods seem uniquely factual and real. More recent, interdisciplinary fields like neuroscience of the religion or neurotheology seek to explain the biological and neurological processes behind religious experiences. This approach studies correlations between brain pathways and spiritual stimuli, suggesting that religious and spiritual practices such as chanting or dancing can have physical effects on the actual brain chemistry. Evolutionary theories, meanwhile, propose that religion is a shared imagination based on a theory of mind that emerged to enhance survival under existential pressure. These different academic lenses, they demonstrate that religion is simultaneously a social phenomenon, a psychological experience, and a cognitive adaptation. Psychologists theorize that the understanding of religion as a search for meaning has a powerful influence on motivation, cognition, and social relationships. From a cognitive standpoint, a sense of purpose and the idea of a supreme being provide a framework for understanding the world, while motivationally, it can address the deep human need for control in an often chaotic existence. Studies indicate that the oldest trait of religion is animism, which is the belief that spirits or conscious life reside in natural objects or phenomena. This capacity to attribute intent and lifelike qualities to the unseen would have prompted early humans to develop the concept of beings or forces in a spiritual realm. The subsequent development of the theory of mind, which is the ability to recognize that others exist to think for themselves, allowed early humans to invent imaginary specialists or agents to enhance their survival chances under duress. We call those shamans, or shamanism. This progression from animism to shamanism and ancestor worship, and eventually to the emergence of high gods, is not random. The development of deities goes hand in hand with social structures, with the absence of morally punishing high gods in early egalitarian hunter-gatherer societies, indicating a deep history for their communal, non-hierarchical nature. Sociologically, this impulse is the subject of a foundational debate. The conflict theory, rooted in the work of Karl Marx, posits that religion serves as opium, or the opium of the people, placating the lower classes with promises of an afterlife to justify social inequality and maintain the status quo. In this view, religion is a divisive tool and an ideology of the ruling class. In contrast, the structural functionalist approach argues that religion is a vital social institution that fosters cohesion and integration. According to this perspective, communal rituals and shared beliefs create a collective consciousness that binds individuals together and delineates groups' identity. The existence of evidence for both views suggests that religion contains a powerful dialectic. It can be a force for both division and unity, serving as a tool for social control in some contexts, while acting as an essential mechanism for group solidarity in others. This tension is a critical analytical tool for understanding the history of religious conflicts and institutional behavior. If we step back and trace the history of human spirituality, what we see is less a straight line and more of an unfolding journey. At every stage, whether through caves, temples, or scriptures, people have sought to connect with something greater, to bring meaning to life and to honor the sacred. The earliest expression we can trace goes back tens of thousands of years, around 30,000 to 10,000 BC. Cave art in Europe, Asia, and the Americas depict animals and hybrid beings painted in deep, dark chambers. Many scholars believe these were part of animistic and shamanic practices, where every mountain, river, and creature was alive with spirit. Shamans entered trance states, often through dance, rituals, or drugs, to commune with these spirits and guide their communities. By around 9500 BC, at sites like, and I'm gonna butcher this, Göbekli Tepe in modern Turkey, we see monumental stone pillars carved with animals and abstract figures. These suggest organized ritual life long before farming, evidence that spirituality was at the heart of community from the very beginning. So as society settled and grew, spirituality expanded into more complex systems. Between about 3000 and 1000 BC, great polytheistic traditions flourished. In Mesopotamia, hundreds of gods represented the forces of nature and society. In Egypt, deities like Ra, Osiris, and Anamun shaped both cosmic order and political life. In Greece and Rome, the myths of Zeus, Hera, and Jupiter reflected the values of law, justice, and civic duty. These pantheons gave meaning to the unpredictable world by weaving it into a structured divine families. Even within polytheism, though, a pattern emerged. Certain deities rose as supreme figures. Marduk in Babylon, or Amun-Ra in Egypt, or Zeus in Greece, gathered the powers of many gods into one. This was a stepping stone towards the idea of a single high god. Meanwhile, across the world, cultures were already imagining something like a universal source. Among the Yoruba of West Africa, Olodumare was known as the giver of life. The Dogon of Mali revered Amma as the great who held the world firmly. The Inca of the Andes spoke of Viracocha, which is the father of the sky and earth. The Hopi of the American Southwest honored Tawa, which was the life-giving sun spirit. And though separated by oceans and centuries, these traditions converged on the idea of a primordial universal divinity, a source of life, moral order, and harmony. All these religions and spiritualities point to a shared human imperative to make sense of our world. And now that we have a foundation in what spirituality, divinity, God, religion is, in our next video, we'll trace the historical evolution of one of the world's most influential deities, Yahweh.